So the OnePlus 8 is finally here, and that means that you have one more device to consider as your next potential daily driver. But is the smartphone any good? Well, in this video, I'm going to compare the OnePlus 8 to all of its competitors to see just that. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. But guys, before we get on with the video, make sure to hit the bell icon and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, so that you don't miss out on any quality tech content that we put out. Now that you've done that, let's get on with the video. Let's get one thing out of the way right now. Spec for spec, the Realme X50 Pro is going to be a better smartphone when compared to the OnePlus 8. Why? Well, because while both the smartphones are powered by the same Snapdragon 865 processor and shipped with UFS 3.0 storage, the Realme X50 Pro comes with speedier, faster LPDDR5 memory as opposed to LPDDR4X memory on the OnePlus 8. Now that's just going to appeal to spec heads more. Now secondly, the Realme X50 Pro also comes with a thermal cooling chamber which is bound to keep its temperatures lower. Now the temperature difference is not going to be all that much, but if you're going to be gaming on your phone, then even a difference of 2 or 3 degrees can make or break your gaming experience. So if you are heavy on gaming on your smartphone, then you might want to pick the X50 Pro there as well. I'd also like to point out that when it comes to the displays, the OnePlus 8 and the X50 Pro both feature a Full HD Plus AMOLED panel that refreshes at 90Hz. Now having used the X50 Pro's display, I can say with certain confidence that the OnePlus 8 will take this round easily. The X50 Pro screen had some color shift issues when I was reviewing it, and the panel on the OnePlus 8 has been highly rated by DisplayMate too. Unfortunately, it's too soon for me to comment on the smartphone's camera prowess, but what I will admit is that the Realme X50 Pro does offer a more versatile camera setup, as it comes with 4 cameras on the back and 2 on the front, covering a wide range of scenarios. That being said, I will reserve my judgment until after I've tested the OnePlus 8 unit myself. That being said, the X50 Pro is clearly the better option when you consider battery specs. Now, while the OnePlus 8 is fueled by a slightly bigger battery, 4300 mAh versus 4200 mAh on the X50 Pro, it is charged by a significantly slower 30 watt standard as compared to the X50 Pro's industry-leading 65 watt standard. So, where the OnePlus 8 would take around an hour to hit full charge, you can do that in just 35 minutes with the X50 Pro. Now, the OnePlus 8 does make up in the software department, as I still feel that it's more polished and refined than Realme UI. Now, don't get me wrong, Realme UI is getting better and better with every passing update, but I still prefer Oxygen OS as it stands. That brings us to the pricing of these two handsets, and the Realme X50 Pro's base variant is 3000 rupees cheaper than OnePlus 8's base variant. Now, depending upon how badly you want Oxygen OS on your next phone and how good the camera on the OnePlus 8 might be, you might want to buy the OnePlus 8 here. But that being said, if you don't care so much for the Oxygen OS interface on your next phone, then honestly the X50 Pro is just a better buy on paper. To me, the OnePlus 8 is just a better buy over the iQOO 3, and it all has to do with the latter's display. Now see, the iQOO 3 is backed by a 60Hz Full HD Plus display, which makes it seem more sluggish compared to the OnePlus 8 when you're using it in normal day-to-day scenarios. And it also affects gaming to a certain degree because a lot of games now can run and make full use of a 90Hz display as well. Now don't get me wrong, the fact that the iQOO 3 comes with a headphone jack and also features pressure-sensitive buttons gives it good gaming creds too. But it's only a matter of time before games like PUBG, which already run at 90 and 120 FPS in China, start running at the same preset in India too. Then you'll definitely want to have a phone with a high refresh rate display. I'd also like to make a case for OnePlus 8's Oxygen OS, which is just a more refined user interface when compared to iQOO's custom skin. Also, the OnePlus 8 will be more ergonomic to hold as it weighs just 180 grams when compared to iQOO 3's 215 gram chassis. Now that said, iQOO 3 does offer a more versatile camera setup on the back, and the smartphone also supports 55 watt fast charging to boot too. Coupled with its cheaper starting MRP of 38,990, I wouldn't be surprised if you chose the iQOO 3 over the OnePlus 8. I for one though cannot use a 60Hz display anymore, so I wouldn't mind shelling out extra for the OnePlus 8. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Lite has a lot going for it, and I used the smartphone intensively in the weeks following its launch. Now compared to the OnePlus 8, the Galaxy S10 Lite offers a lighter frame because it's made out of polycarbonate, a more ergonomic and flatter display, and expandable storage. On the other hand, the OnePlus 8 is better in almost every other category, as the phone comes with a high refresh rate display, a speedier CPU, faster wired charging, a more premium glass back design, and a better audio setup, as the phone also offers stereo speakers too. So as good as the S10 Lite is, I just don't think it makes any more sense for you to buy it over the OnePlus 8. Now, I recently made a video highlighting why you should not buy the iPhone SE 2020, and for the sake of this comparison, let me reiterate. The iPhone SE 2020 is a great smartphone, but it has a very defined use case. So if you're in the market for a compact flagship and you want the latest internals from Apple, then great, there's no better phone than the SE 2020. It also helps that the smartphone is waterproof, which the OnePlus 8 isn't, at least here in India, and it supports wireless charging as well, which also the OnePlus 8 does not. But if you're going to game a lot on your phone, or watch a ton of movies, or multitask heavily, then you'll appreciate OnePlus 8's bigger, more snappier display a lot more. The OnePlus 8 charges way quicker too and is going to offer a more versatile set of cameras as well, as the iPhone SE 2020 comes with just one camera at the back. Now that's not all, because the OnePlus 8 does offer a more modern design and it is somewhat future-proof too, as it is 5G ready. Now in the end, this is not going to be an apples to apples comparison, no pun intended, because both these phones are from different ecosystems. For what it's worth, if I had to upgrade my smartphone, then I would pick the OnePlus 8, not because it's cheaper or because I'm more accustomed to Androids, but because I just cannot get behind the dated design and display of the iPhone SE 2020. In other words, Apple's cheapest iPhone is just not the one I'd choose over the OnePlus 8. Now if you haven't watched my in-depth comparison between the OnePlus 70 and the OnePlus 8, then I highly recommend that you do, but the TLDR of that video is as follows. The OnePlus 70 is, simply put, just a much better deal over the OnePlus 8. Now that's because of a lot of reasons, but first and foremost, both the devices ship with the same 6.55-inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED 90Hz display. Now sure, the cutout on the OnePlus 8 is slightly better and it also has a better DisplayMate rating as well, but that doesn't really warrant a price hike of almost Rs 9,000 to me. Neither does the performance delta between the 855 Plus on the 70 versus the 865 on the OnePlus 8 for that matter. Both the phones will perform just the same for 99% of the workloads, and the rest of the performance metrics are in any case same on both the phones too. So you'll get the same LPDDR4X memory and the same UFS 3.0 storage on the two devices. Plus, the OnePlus 70 offers the same wired charging speeds as well. The only reason I see why somebody would want to buy the OnePlus 8 over the OnePlus 70 is probably because it comes with a bigger 4300 mAh battery and because of the new Sony IMX689 imaging sensor. Is it worth the upgrade? In my honest opinion, no. And with that, we have come to the end of the video. Do let me know in the comments below if you would want me to compare the OnePlus 8 to some other smartphone, and do like and share this video with your friends if you enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Prateek from Mr. Phone signing off.